Alternate universes are a science fiction concept created sometime in the 20th century. They propose that there are hundreds of thousands of millions of self-contained universes similar to our own but divergent from our course of history. A world where our choices, events, and random occurrences go into a different direction, overall shaping the course of history in a different way. These changes could be as small and minute as, some dude in Kentucky not eating pancakes for breakfast this morning, or as wide and world-changing as World War II never happening. Plants vs. Zombies is a tower defense. Plants vs. Zombies is a tower defense game released in May of 2009 and is the only tower defense game I've ever played. I know I'm getting it, I'm sorry. For my next game after Bumbleline, which is the last game I made, I wanted to make a game in a different genre than a 2D platformer, since Bumbleline is one. I experimented with making a rhythm game, but mapping lyrics to the songs I made for them deemed too strenuous and annoying for the impatient little boy I am. But then I got an idea. And when I say but then, I mean like a couple weeks later. What if I combine the concept of parallel universes with a tower defense game? You'd have to defend your tower from two different universes at the same time. It's a pretty cool concept, right? So Multidimensional Desk Job was born. In the game, you use portals to other dimensions to fight enemies. There are two types of portals so far: turret portals and laser portals. Turret portals are sort of like melee weapons, if that makes sense. Basically, there's a big invisible circle around the turret portals, and if an enemy is within the circle's range, it starts taking damage. If multiple enemies are in range, all enemies take damage. It can work for any number of enemies, as long as all of them are in range. Laser portals are a bit different. They also have an invisible circle around them, but if an enemy is in range, they lock in on them until this enemy either dies or moves out of range. This makes laser portals better for attacking specific enemies that are a nuisance, but they are less effective when dealing with big crowds of enemies. They also deal more damage than turret portals, which balances things out a bit. The basic story of the game, without revealing too many details, is this. You are a man named Ted N. Grayson, who's going through his first day to work at a new company. The company, Stringco, is an arts and crafts store at the top, but a science facility at the bottom. You work at the bottom layer and are given no information about what is down there or what it's used for. You have one simple job: press the operation button connected to a giant multi-dimensional collider. But you accidentally press a different button and you turn the collider on, sending you throughout the multiverse. Now you and a robot called the SAAR, Stringco Agency Assistance Robot, must get enough base shards to turn the collider back on and go home, back to your home dimension. The story might be changed or refined during development, like a Bumbleline story went, but this is the rough, probably the same when it finished. Anyways, to make a basic prototype of the game, I followed a Unity tutorial on how to make a 2D tower defense game. Everything was going pretty smooth until something happened. During the turret tutorial, I hit a brick wall. See, up until this point, I was just following the tutorial, right? And at this point, the turret portals weren't supposed to, enemies go in range, enemies take damage. The turret portal was supposed to spawn bullets, and then the bullets would home in on the enemies. But the bullets bullets kept getting stuck in the tiles where you place the portals. I looked into the comments for some kind of solution, and a lot of them experienced the same issue. But I tried doing what they said, and it didn't work. So I changed the code so that instead of the turret portal sending out bullets, while the enemies were in range, they'd incrementally take damage. Hence, the current version. You know, I'm starting to see a pattern in my games where I have to change the code of something in the game because I can't get the bullets to work, because that happened in Bumbleline too. I had to change the code because the stinger didn't work. So now it's time for the fun part. I started by making 2 maps. These will be the 2 dimensions. There's a different level design for each dimension. Now I have all that set up with different enemies and stuff. Then I made a script that snaps the camera to the other dimension whenever you press Z. How the script works is basically this. There is a list or array of every dimension that's portalable. Portalable? Is that a word? Well now it is. Portalable. Portalable. Try saying that 5 times. If you say it enough times, it doesn't sound like a word. Oh wait, I guess it is. Never mind. Anyways, the code goes through each entry in that list. Every time it moves up the list, the camera shifts to that dimension. Once the list reaches its final entry and the player hits Z, it resets the list back to the first dimension. The way this is coded, it can work for any number of dimensions.
And then for that gamey juicy,
I added music and sound effects. I made 2 songs that are essentially remix of each other, and then I made the game play a different song while you're in a different dimension, which makes a pretty cool effect. Watch. A couple more levels and a boss fight. You may be wondering, how did you make a boss fight in a tower defense game? Oh wait, let me do the accent. How did you make a boss in a tower defense game? Well, it's really simple actually. The bosses in Multidimensional Desk Job are essentially just really big enemies with a lot of health that make you win when they die. Watch this. But what would be the theming of the boss fight? Why is the boss fighting us? The answer is attached to a sci-fi concept in my game called This is explained by SAR in the game.
Dimension merging is the phenomenon when 2 different dimensions merge, creating another dimension with parts of both parent dimensions inside. This is usually caused by excessive use of dimension warping technology.
Wait. Go back to that part again. This is usually caused by excessive use of dimension warping technology. Dimension warping technology. The player has been using dimension warping technology since the first level, which means the player caused the dimension merge to happen in levels 6 and 7. And the dimension merge caused the boss fight, since the boss is a horrific amalgamation of all the enemies you faced prior. The dimension merge has warped the creatures of the 2 dimensions so severely that they have turned into a Frankenstein body horror worm with no consciousness, only an innate sense of violence and a will to get the base shard. And it is all your doing. It's poetic, isn't it? The player directly causing the birth of their own worst enemy. The person hindering your progress most. Well, isn't it yourself? You're the one who caused your own worst enemy, which means, aren't you your own worst enemy? Anyways, that's the devlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for getting this far. You can play the alpha on itch.io. The link should be in the pinned comment. As a reward for you watching till the end, here's some delectable gameplay for now. Also, during the tutorial part of the video, I had to take so many retakes because I kept saying tutorial.